Good morning everyone. This is Shivparati. Today I would like to introduce about statistics. According to Desire, there are three kinds of lies. First one is lies, damn lies and statistics. Then why should we need to study about statistics? Let me know. Data are everywhere. Statistical techniques are used to make many decisions that affect our lives. No matter what your career, you will make a professional decision that involves data, and an understanding of statistical methods will help you make these decisions effectively. Now, types of statistics, descriptive statistics, inferential statistics. Methods like in descriptive statistics, methods of organization, summarizing, and presentation of data in an informative way. Inferential statistics, the methods are used to determine something about a population on the basis of a sample. What is population? The entire set of individuals or objects of interest, or the measurements obtained from all individuals or objects of interest. What is sample means? A part of population or portion of population is known as sample. Descriptive statistics. Comes to the descriptive statistics, we mainly classify into three types: collect data, present data, summarize data. What is collect data? Data means we will collect the data from the sources of different sources, direct data or indirect data. We can collect primary sources or secondary sources we may use according to the situation. Based on the situation, we will collect the data. That will called as surveys. Okay. Next, presentation of data. The data will be presented into tabular form and then converted into graphical representation. Why should we need to convert the data? Means a layman can also understand the data using the visualization of graphs, bar diagrams, histograms, like that. Next, summarize data. The whole data can be represented into a single value, or a represented or a convey into the whole information into a single sentences. That means summarization of data. And in our example, so we can say that sample means sample variances, standard deviations, all these are comes under summarization of data. Let me know about statistical data. As already I have discussed, statistical data means we need to collect from the sources. This data collection may be classified into two types, mainly classified into two types. First one is primary data, second one is secondary data. Primary data means specifically for the analysis of the desired. Based on that situation, we need to collect the primary information. Secondary data, that means we have to use the data available from the available sources. A variable is an item of interest that can, sorry. A variable is an item of interest that can take on many different numerical values. A constant has a fixed number of values. When it comes to data, statistical data are usually obtained by counting or measuring items. Most data can be put into the following categories: quantitative and qualitative. When it comes to the qualitative, like our characters or kindness, hair color, etc., sweetness, like that. And quantitative data will consider into number of students in a class, number of girls in a class, number of boys in a class. All these are comes under quantitative data. In qualitative data, generally described by words or letters, they are not as widely used as quantitative data, because many numerical techniques do not apply to the qualitative data. For example, it does not make sense an average hair color or a body type or a kindness, average good persons, average knowledge. We can't analyze like this. So qualitative data can be separated into two subgroups, that is dichotomic and polynomic. If it takes to the form of the words, sorry, if it takes the form of a word into two types: gender will be classified into male or female. And polynomic means if it takes the in the form of a word, with more than two options. Like education, in the education we classify primary school, secondary school and university. Okay, and we can make many examples. Let me continue with the next one, please. Quantitative data. Quantitative data are always numbers and are the results of counting or measuring attributes of the population. Quantitative data can be separated into two subgroups. First one is discrete data, and second one is continuous. In discrete means if it is the result of counting, it is considered as discrete. If the result is measuring, then it is considered as continuous. What comes to the discrete means number of students in a class, number of books in a shelf, all these are comes and number of persons in a city, all these are in the form of discrete. When comes to the continuous, it is like measuring weight, height, time or distance traveled, etc. All these are comes under continuous data. Now it is frequency distribution or numerical presentation of quantitative data. ఈ క్వాంటిటేటివ్ డేటాను ఎలా క్లాసిఫై చేస్తామో, ఎలా ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఫామ్ చేద్దాం అనేది చూద్దాం. Frequency distribution shows the frequency or number of occurrences in each of several categories. Frequency distributions are usually summarized large volumes of data values. When the raw data are measured on a quantitative scale, either interval or ratio categories or classes must be designed for the data values before a frequency distribution can be formed. Steps for constructing frequency distribution. Determine the number of classes. First, we need to classify the number of classes or categories we need to classify. Then, determine the size of each class. If suppose we want to make a frequency distribution of a number of students for the marks. So 0 to 10 is a class. Next 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 marks. These are classified as classes. And then number of students who got 0 to 10 marks will be the frequency of the 0 to 10 class. Next, determine the starting point of the first class. Tally the number of values that are occurring in each class. Prepare the table for the distribution using actual count and percentage relative frequencies. The charts or graphs will be considered here. Frequency distribution are good ways to present the essential aspects of data collections in understanding terms. Pictures are always more effective in displaying large data collections. Yeah, why we need to use his diagrammatic representation? Yeah, it is comfortable to continue with the frequency distributions, but it is not always easy to understand a large amount of data to analyze or overview of the data. We can't understand with the tabular form. It is easy to understand the by using diagrammatic representation. Let me discuss how it is comfortable to visualization. Frequently used to graphical interval and ratio data. It is often used for interval and ratio data. The adjacent bars indicates that a numerical range is being summarized by indicating the frequencies in arbitrary chosen classes. Frequency polygon. Before that, histogram can be constructed for the group of continuous data sets only. It can be comfortable to, and it must be used when it is for the continuous data. And frequency polygon, another common method for graphical presentation, interval and ratio data. To construct a frequency polygon, make the frequencies on the vertical axis and the values of the variable being measured on the horizontal axis as with the histogram. If the purpose of presenting is comparison with other distributions, the frequency polygon provides a good summary of the data. And similarly, Auger curve also is for frequency distribution only. A graph of a cumulative frequency distribution. That means we need to give the graph with the use of cumulative frequency up below to up and above to below, and the common point will be considered. OGU is used when one wants to determine how many observations lie above or below a certain value in a distribution. First, cumulative frequency distribution is constructed. Cumulative frequencies are plotted on the upper class limit of the each category. Upper class limit and OGU can be constructed for the relative frequency distribution. And the pie chart, it is very popularly known. The pie chart will be classified effective ways of displaying the percentage of breakdown of data by category, useful if the relative sizes of the data components are to be emphasized. Pie charts are also provide an effective way to presenting ratio or interval scaled data after they have been organized into categories. When it comes to the bar diagram, bar chart, another common method for graphically presenting nominal or ordinal scaled data. One bar is used to represent the frequency of for each category. The bars are usually positioned vertically with their based locations on the horizontal axis of the graph. The bars are separated on this way. This is why such a graphical frequency used for nominal and ordinal data. The separation of emphasized and plotted of frequency for distinct categories. And there are types of bar charts: simple bar, multiple bar, subdivided bar, and percentage bar. A multiple and large data can also be constructed and easily analyzed of categories of different types into a single bar. This is the most popularly and number of times used graphs. And now comes to the measures of central tendencies. A measure of central tendency of a descriptive statistics that describes the average or typical value of a set of scores. There are three commonly measure of central tendencies. First one is mode, median, and the mean. Let me discuss the concepts of mean, median, mode in the next classes. Thank you.